you the news as it happens, when it happens. This is your Primetime News Bulletin. A very good evening. I'm Shayan Silva.
And I'm Gayatri Gunratna. As always, we start off with a look at the headlines.
Former President says that the UNP and the SLFP must unite to take the country forward. Import tax on potatoes and big onions increased. United National Party says the government cannot dismiss the incidents connected to suspicious individuals as just rumours. And the National Mines Bureau investigating the discovery of an unknown gas and water spray during an excavation in the L1 Kulama area.
Now for those stories in detail, the new head office of the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation was declared open by President Mahinda Rajapaksa today. The head office has been named the House of Cipetco.
The new head office of Cipetco is located down Dr. Danista de Silva Mawatha in Colombo 9. Subject Minister Susil Premajayantha was present at the occasion. The new head office was constructed at a cost of 2,000 million rupees. Workers in any sector need to have the correct working environment. Therefore, constructing such a building is going to provide great strength to the economy. Your corporation is one which could uplift the whole economy. Our minister said that he hopes that you would provide the service which the government and the people want. I request the same thing. Understand the needs of the people and provide them with petrol without water. I believe that you will work hard to accomplish these aspirations. The government and all of us receive a bad name when there are shortcomings in your service.
Meanwhile,
Sri Lanka's largest construction industry-related exhibition, Construct 2011, was declared open by President Mahinda Rajapaksa this morning. The exhibition is being held at the Sirimao Bandaranayake Memorial Exhibition Centre in Colombo. Organised for the 11th time by the National Construction Association of Sri Lanka, the exhibition showcases a large number of local and international construction firms. The exhibition also provides an opportunity to learn about the construction techniques practiced in countries like India, Pakistan, China and Malaysia. President Mahinda Rajapaksa also engaged in a discussion with the Young Entrepreneurs Board this morning at Temple Trees. At the meeting, the President had emphasized the need to create products that are needed in the market. A communique released by the President's media unit notes that the President plans to hold such discussions with all sectors to obtain their views and suggestions prior to preparing the next budget. The President had stated at the meeting that plans are being made to resolve problems that arise when obtaining land for local and foreign entrepreneurs. The President also instructed the officials to recognize the advantages of agreements such as the CEPA agreement that will benefit both the government and entrepreneurs. On to a story that made the headlines tonight now. The government has decided to increase the import tax on big onions, garlic and potatoes. The import tax of a kilogram of big onions has been raised by 15 rupees. Meanwhile, the import tax imposed on a kilogram of potatoes has been raised by 5 rupees.
Issuing a communique, the Minister of Finance noted that the import tax on big onions has been increased from 10 rupees to 25 rupees. The tax on potatoes has been increased from 30 to 35 rupees. The communique issued by the Minister of Finance also noted that the tax imposed on a kilogram of garlic has been raised from 10 rupees to 25 rupees. According to the Minister of Finance, these taxes have been raised to ensure a fair price for the produce of local farmers. The tax increase will be effective from the 10th of this month.
In news just in, the Ministry of Cooperatives and Internal Trade has announced that the price of a cylinder of laughs as well as litro gas will be increased by 156 rupees with effect from midnight today. We'll have the latest on that story later on in a little while. But moving on, a biography of the United National Party General Secretary Tissa Attanayake was released yesterday. The event was held under the auspices of opposition leader Ranil Wickremesinghe and former President Chandrika Kumaratunga.
The book titled Tissa was published to mark 30 years of political life as well as the 50th birthday of UNP General Secretary Tissa Attanayake. The book is authored by Nihal Jagatchandra. There was a big-time businessman in England by the name of Lord Beaverbrook. He came from Canada, made money and built a large business empire. At one point, he even tried to buy Rolls-Royce. He then brought the Daily Express newspaper. After that, he attempted to change the leader of the Conservative Party, Stanley Baldwin. He carried out a massive campaign against Baldwin. The Conservative leader patiently listened to all what was being said and finally said that what Beaverbrook wanted was power without responsibility. He
wants power without responsibility. The privilege of the harlot throughout the years.
මෙන්න දැන් ලැබුණු පුවතක්. අද මධ්‍යම රාත්‍රියේ සිට ක්‍රියාත්මක වන පරිදි ලාබ් සහ ලිට්‍රෝ ගෘහස්ත ගෑස් සිලින්ඩර් එක මිල රුපියල් 156කින් ඉහළ දමා ඇති බව සම්පකාර හා අභ්‍යන්තර වෙළඳ අමාත්‍යාංශය පවසනවා. එහි ලේකම් සුනිල් සිරිසේන මහතා සඳහන් කළේ නව ගෑස් සිලින්ඩර් එක මිල රුපියල් 2046ක් වන බවයි. මෙන්න එම පුවත නැවතත්. අද මධ්‍යම රාත්‍රියේ සිට ක්‍රියාත්මක වන පරිදි ලාබ් සහ ලිට්‍රෝ ගෘහස්ත ගෑස් සිලින්ඩර් එක මිල රුපියල් 156කින් ඉහළ දමා ඇති බව සම්පකාර හා අභ්‍යන්තර වෙළඳ අමාත්‍යාංශය පවසනවා. එහි ලේකම් සුනිල් සිරිසේන මහතා සඳහන් කළේ ගෑස් සිලින්ඩර් එක නව මිල රුපියල් 2046ක් වන බවයි. ෂේන්.
Thank you, Manoj. In news just in, the Ministry of Cooperatives and Internal Trade has announced that the price of a cylinder of laughs as well as litro gas will be increased by 156 rupees with effect from midnight today. The Secretary of the Ministry, Sunil S. Sirisena, stated that the revised price of a domestic cylinder would be 2,046 rupees. The news once again, the Ministry of Cooperatives and Internal Trade has announced that the price of a cylinder of gas as well as litro gas will be increased by 156 rupees with effect from midnight today. The Secretary to the Ministry, Sunil S. Sirisena, stated that the revised price of a domestic cylinder would be 2,046 rupees. Jeffrey?
Thank you, Shane. தற்போது கிடைத்த செய்தி ஒன்று. இன்று நள்ளிரவு முதல் அமலுக்கு வரும் வகையில் சமையல் எரிவாயுவின் விலை அதிகரிக்கப்பட உள்ளதாக கூட்டுறவு மற்றும் உள்நாட்டு வர்த்தக அமைச்சு அறிவித்துள்ளது. இதன்படி லாஃப் மற்றும் லிட்ரோ கேஸ் ஆகியவற்றின் விலைகள் 156 ரூபாவால் உயர்த்தப்பட உள்ளதாக அமைச்சின் செயலாளர் சுனில் சிறிசேன தெரிவித்தார். 12.5 கிலோகிராம் எடை கொண்ட லிட்ரோ மற்றும் லாஃப் கேஸ் சிலிண்டர்களின் புதிய விலை 2046 ரூபாவாக அதிகரிக்கப்பட்டுள்ளது. அந்த செய்தியினை மீண்டும் அறிய தருகிறோம். இன்று நள்ளிரவு முதல் அமலுக்கு வரும் வகையில் சமையல் எரிவாயுவின் விலை அதிகரிக்கப்பட உள்ளதாக கூட்டுறவு மற்றும் உள்நாட்டு வர்த்தக அமைச்சு அறிவித்துள்ளது. இதன்படி லாஃப் மற்றும் லிட்ரோ கேஸ் ஆகியவற்றின் விலைகள் 156 ரூபாவால் உயர்த்தப்பட உள்ளதாக அமைச்சின் செயலாளர் சுனில் சிறிசேன தெரிவித்தார். 12.5 கிலோகிராம் எடை கொண்ட லிட்ரோ மற்றும் லாஃப் கேஸ் சிலிண்டர்களின் புதிய விலை 2046 ரூபாவாகும்.
Moving back to your primetime news bulletin now. Speaking at the occasion, the former president stated that the two main political parties should unite to take the country forward.
Recently, I expressed my unchanging view about something which affects the entire nation, the ethnic issue. In the final sentence of this speech, I mentioned about my son. There is nothing wrong in it. Now the government media and government officials call my innocent son in filth. I do not know if the United National Party and the Sri Lanka Freedom Party will ever act together. However, in order to rid the country of this narrow-minded political culture and take this country forward, these two parties must unite someday. If democracy is to be taken forward, then just one party cannot do it. We need a strong opposition. Journalists, please record this. I am not going to join the UNP tomorrow. The members of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party should also keep in mind that someday we will go out of power.
Sri Lanka Idahas Pakshaya දැනගන්න ඕනේ කවදා හරි අපි බලෙන් යන්න වෙනවා කියලා.
දේශපාලනය කියන්නේ හරිම අමාරු දෙයක්. මම නම් මගේ දරුවෝ දේශපාලනයට එන්න කියන්නේ නැහැ.
Politics is a very difficult field. I would not encourage any of my children to enter politics. It is so hard. We do not receive praise and respect all the time. Instead, on most occasions, we receive insults. That is the truth about politics now. From the experience I have had, I have understood that longevity in this field cannot be attained by using shortcuts. When I took office as the Minister of Higher Education in 1993, under President D.B. Wijayatunga, my cabinet minister was V.J.M.U. Lokubandara. He told me to come by his house before taking oaths. I went to meet him. He told me to learn to follow first, then I would be able to lead one day. I have had that experience.
හැම විටම හොඳ දෙවනියෙක් හැටියට වැඩ කරන්න ඊට පස්සේ තමයි පාර්ලිමේන්තුවෙන් එන්නේ. අදත් මට මේ අත්දැකීම හොඳටම ලබලා තිබුණා.